Today, I'll try to convince you why hybrid cars are the most sensible choice in 2025, especially compared to EVs and gasoline cars. And the hybrid setup takes the best of both worlds. It's using its electrification to become more fuel efficient, to become more comfortable to drive, but at the same time, we are not sacrificing the infrastructure that we as humans have been using for the past 100 years. We are driving the 2025 Toyota Camry, which I think is a perfect example of showcasing why hybrid cars are so great. And the first argument for hybrid cars is lower emissions, better fuel economy, and overall lower cost of ownership. Nowadays, pretty much every single sedan and some SUVs can get easily 40 plus mpgs or less than 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers for their fuel economy if it's powered by a hybrid powertrain. And we live in a world today where pretty much every single place on earth has its prices on gasoline rising every day. So it makes sense for more and more people every single year to switch to hybrid cars or EVs. And apart from saving on gas, hybrid cars give you an opportunity to save even more money on other ongoing costs. Most hybridized vehicles give you an ability to use region braking instead of using the conventional foot brakes. And that means you will need to spend less on replacing your brake pads in the future. Let me show you an example. This 2025 Camry has these paddle shifters, and I can use the left one to control my region braking. So let's say I want to slow down for this car in front of me. I'm pulling on the left paddle, and the car is slowing down without me pushing on the brake. Usually the worst enemy of gasoline cars when it comes to better fuel efficiency is city driving. So if most of your drives are within the city and you're tired of your fuel economy being so bad, switching to hybrid could be a solution. So let me explain how does this work. Usually, if we are driving a gasoline car and we are driving slowly or we are idling, we are basically wasting fuel. So the hybrid car solves this problem by running the EV mode when you are driving slowly and accelerating slowly, and at the same time, when you are idling, it will engage the EV mode again. And when you request more power from your setup, it will engage the gasoline engine. So it will only engage it when you actually need it. And all of the other times, it will just use the EV motor. So it is basically, as I said, best of both worlds. We are using electrification to become more efficient, especially at idling and at slow speeds. But at the same time, we're not giving up the gasoline engine, which enables us to use all of the infrastructure and all of the gas stations, which are basically available anywhere worldwide. And it only takes you a couple minutes to fill your car up, which is a great segue to the second argument I wanted to make in this video, which is convenience. So the hybrid setup lets us have this better fuel efficiency without giving up our lifestyle, which means that the ownership experience of the cars like this 2025 Toyota Camry will be indistinguishable from owning any other gasoline car. If you want to switch to a fully electric vehicle, you will need to build your lifestyle around it, meaning that you will need to find nice charging stations, or if you're going to charge at home, you will need to buy equipment and also spend money on installing this equipment as well. And if you decide to go on a long road trip, you will need to plan around charging stations again. And while finding these stations is not the hardest thing to do, I think the most inconvenience of owning an EV, especially if you like road trips, is this time spent while charging. And when we compare these cars to EVs, we also get a much better range. There are some hybrid cars that have a range of 1,000 kilometers or 600-ish miles on one tank. And it is astonishing. Because let's imagine you're a person that lives in the city, doesn't drive as much. You can basically only fuel your car once a month, or maybe even once in 2 months, which is crazy. And at the same time, if you are doing a long road trip, you don't need to worry as much about range. Let's talk about myself as an example. I usually drive within the city, so having an EV in my life would be very convenient. But as many people do, I live in an apartment complex, and not all complexes have lots of EV stalls available for everyone. So that means I'm not able to charge at home, and that's a big problem for me because I don't want to deal with these charging stations. I don't want to go for 30 minutes to a charging station and think about my range all the time. And my third point is about the driving experience. But let me get some of the things out of the way first. I'm a car and driving enthusiast. So for me, the main priority of when I'm choosing what car I like to drive is the driving experience. And that's why in the very beginning of this video, I said that hybrid cars is the most sensible choice. I didn't mean it's the most fun choice or it's the most emotional choice. It's just sensible and rational. So what I mean by that, if I would have bought a new car, I wouldn't buy the hybrid one, and I wouldn't buy any EV. I would buy a gasoline car which is fun to drive. Maybe due to the fact that the car has a manual transmission, maybe due to the fact that a car has great handling, or any other aspect of what makes a car fun to drive. But if I was a person that didn't care how the car drives, and I just wanted to make a rational, sensible choice, I feel like hybrid cars are no-brainer. But that doesn't mean that hybrid cars are not nice to drive. On the other hand, they are actually more comfortable and more luxurious to drive than their gasoline counterparts. The 8th generation of the Toyota Camry had a couple of engine options. It had the 4-cylinder option, the hybrid option, and the V6 option. And even though the V6 was charismatic, fast, and somewhat fun to drive, the base option for the Toyota Camry before was lethargic, it was quite slow, it was not very refined, it had a CVT in it. So I think hybrid powertrain solved every single problem that 4-cylinder had before. Now it's more refined, it's more comfortable, it's more quiet because of its EV motor, which is engaged at low speeds, and the eCVT transmission in the hybrid setup actually makes more sense. The eCVT makes it feel like you're driving an EV. You don't have any gears, you just have one single gear, which is continuously variable, and you always get this smooth power delivery. And again, it's not fun, but it doesn't have to be fun because it's meant to be comfortable, it's meant to be fuel efficient, it's meant to be not getting into your way. And yes, most hybrid cars are not as fast as some of the EVs. And I feel like most EVs are actually not sporty. They are tailored towards being very good at daily driving, being very comfortable. So they don't need to be that fast. They don't need to have 4 seconds, 0 to 60 times. They just need to be adequate. And I feel like most hybrid cars are less gimmicky. They are more honest to its owner. They don't need to be fast, and they're just not. Most hybrid cars, and this Camry is not an exception, have enough power, especially in the city. They feel very, very torquey and actually quick. But on the highway, they have enough power to get you onto the highway, to overtake people on the highway. You will not feel like you're slower than anyone else. And the last thing I wanted to mention is pricing. Yes, the hybridized versions of any car is more expensive than the gasoline option, but they are much, much less expensive than any EV on the market. And we also talked about the great resale value of hybrid cars, especially if you compare them to EVs, which are plummeting down like crazy. And starting soon in the US, people are not going to get the EV incentives anymore. I'm not sure if they're going to do the same thing for EVs in Canada. Hopefully not. So EVs are becoming less and less incentivized and less appealing for many people. So if you don't care how sporty your car is, you just want to get from A to B in a very comfortable setting, and you also don't care about these latest technologies which come with every single EV, with those very large touchscreens and everything embedded into the touchscreen menu, I think the best option for you is to go for a hybrid car. And if you're wondering if this 2025 Toyota Camry is for you, you can watch a full review on my channel by clicking on this video. There are some other hybrid videos I reviewed on my channel as well. Feel free to check them out too. And as always, stay safe out there, keep enjoying the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.